Hello and welcome to Creativity TV. On today's show we are joined by Jo Austin. Hi Jo.
Hi Emma.
Now this looks interesting. What are you going to be making for us today?
Yes, I'm going to be showing you how to actually get a little bit sort of adventurous with your felt. So this little flower here started off very similar to this, which is just normal felt that I've just distressed up with a little bit of gold ink. What I'm going to show you is this little section in the centre there. You can see we've got the two different colours of the felt.
But this is using all the same felt.
It is using all the same
Brilliant.
felt.
Okay,
yeah.
Fantastic. Let's get started.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, we've got the steampunk type of background on here, which I've very lightly embossed. We've got a masking tape technique, which we did on a previous episode of Creativity TV as well.
Yeah.
And again, we've got the little sort of masking tape on there as well. And then we've got this heat embossed flower, which is the section that I'm going to show you here.
Okay.
Okay, so to start the card, what I've actually taken is the chronology embossing folder that we've got here. And I'm going to emboss this straight onto my card. You see I haven't got any machine.
Yeah.
Because I want a very light embossing, what I'm actually going to do is put my card straight into the embossing folder. I'm going to take my bone folder and then just basically press over from the back of the embossing folder there. So it's just very, very light. I'm not doing it from the front because I don't want to damage the black on the imprint there.
Right, okay.
Okay, so obviously we've not got any black ink on the back, so we're not going to smudge anything on there. Okay, you can see we've got this very light embossing coming through.
Right,
so I'm just going to move it across just a tiny little bit more. I'm going to go up where the crease of my card is, and then just repeat that again on that section. There we go. Okay, so you see there we haven't got too much detail of the cogs on our card like you have on the embossing folder, but what it's giving me is just lots of little sort of circular shapes on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks good, and you didn't have to use your die cutter machine.
No, which is perfect if you're just die cutting or you're just embossing a small little bit of an area.
Okay.
I'm going to take the silver pigment ink now and just add a little bit of grey, because I'm going to go pink and grey with this one, whereas I went brown and blue with
Gives
that
it a bit more of a rustic look, doesn't it?
That's it, yeah.
A bit more of a worn look.
Okay, so just very, very lightly, just over the top. And then I'm just going to go just around the outsides as well, just to shade it all in.
It's quite nice because it does pick it up then, doesn't it?
The
embossed look.
Yeah, I'm going to say it just accents those little areas. You can see there you've not got too much detail on there. So if you're not into the sort of steampunky type of look, you can still use this embossing folder to make it look really pretty. So again, we're just going to smudge that in just to make sure we've got no wet ink. Okay, so for the flower, what I'm going to be using is the new Vintage Notes felt. So we've got a few different colours here. We've got the yellow and the pink. Love that pink.
Yeah.
Thought of you when I saw that one. And then this nice orangey brown, the grey that we've used before, and the blue as well.
Yeah.
So again, little bits and pieces, but I save everything. I save all my little bits of felt.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is take these die cuts, which are the little floral ones. I've left the larger one in the packet and I've just gone for the slightly smaller shape so we can create a slightly smaller flower.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is just layer up my felt onto the platform.
So you can put felt through the die cutter machine.
You can.
That's really good. I think I'm probably the only one who didn't know that. But
yeah, so you can do quite a lot of different sort of techniques with your felt as well. So all I'm doing is just basically popping my little flower sections onto the felt.
Yeah.
And now what I would actually recommend you do is to actually take a card blank, which is just a normal, I've got the decal edge one, but normal card blank, and just pop it over the top, just to give it an extra little bit of pressure.
Right.
Okay, now I know
because felt is obviously really flimsy anyway, isn't it? So.
Yeah. So now we've got our little flower shapes, and you see they're all perfectly cut apart from this one. But because we're going to heat it, I'm not too worried if I've got a little bit of a pull just on one side there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just take a brad. Now this can be any brad.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to do is just basically put the brad through the centres of the flowers. And then just layer them all up together. Okay, it is important that you put your brad in to start off with.
Right, okay.
I'm not going to open the leg parts of the brad. What I'm going to do is just take just a pair of tweezers. Obviously you don't want your fingers too near to it. And just hold that very tightly. I'm going to fluff up little sections of my flowers, and then I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm just going to hold it just till it starts to get a little bit warmer. So when it's quite warm, hold it a little bit away from your felt. And then you can see the leaves just start to curl a tiny little bit.
Yeah. Now I suggest you do keep a bit of a distance between where you're doing it and where you're breathing in as well. But
and so just keep a little bit away.
But you don't do it for long at all anyway,
no,
do you?
You don't. It's just basically, I don't know if you can see the centre of the flower, you've just got like a little tiny bit of mottling just on your leaves. Now your little leaf or your petals are going to go a little bit harder. So while they're still warm, you do have time just to shape them.
Yeah.
To make your flower look exactly how you want it to look.
Yeah.
Just till it cools down. And that's your completed flower section there. So I'm just going to take that brad just out of the centre. I've got 2 little bits of ribbon. So instead of using the tape this time, I'm just really trying to show you obviously different things that you can do.
Yeah.
There we go. So just again, just to make it girly, rather than a little bit more masculine, a little bit more distressed, we can just pop that little section on there. So I'm going to basically combine the chronology with the vintage note. So again, a little sneak peek.
2 of my favourite,
little section that's coming up. So I've taken the grey one, and again I've put double-sided tape on the back. I've inked around the edges in the same ink that I've used to ink the card up. And the pink one is just going to sit on foam pads just in the centre there. And then this one's going to sit straight onto the top of my card. That's just going to sit just in the centre there. And again, it just gives it a little bit extra dimension.
Yeah.
But it's a very simple card, just using a couple of little bits that you might already have in your stash at home.
Brilliant, thank you very much. A couple of new techniques for me to try, wonderful. If you would like to have a go at this, you can find all the step-by-steps right here in the Creativity Club. And I would love to see what you do with your vintage notes and chronology range as well. They've got to be my favourite so far. So do drop me an email at tv@docrafts.com. And for now, happy crafting.